In this video, let's talk about how to enter bills in QuickBooks Online. So, of course, we've got our plus new button. Under vendors, we can go to bill. This is the fastest way to create a new bill in QuickBooks Online. And again, I recommend using this when you have an actual bill received from a vendor that's going to be paid at a future date. So if we pick a vendor here, let's do Hicks Hardware. Let's pretend we have an account with Hicks Hardware and we'd want to enter the terms. These are going to be found on the invoice from the vendor. So let's say the terms are net 15. We want to enter the bill date. So then this should auto update the due date if you've entered in the terms. And then the bill number is also going to come straight from the invoice. Now for Hicks Hardware, I'm going to use the item details and I'm going to assume that we purchased 10 pumps from them and a rock fountain, and let's buy some sprinkler heads. All right, so these numbers should match what's on the bill received from the vendor. And so you'd want to verify that the total matches the vendor bill. You can even attach the actual vendor bill right here with the attachments feature. And I like to do that. You don't have to. So here's the thing I like to point out. If your client ever stops using QuickBooks Online, they're going to lose all of those attachments anyway. So it's always best practice for your clients to maintain either the physical copies of their bills or store them somewhere else like a Google Drive or Box.com or Dropbox or whatever it is that they're using. Don't rely on QuickBooks. I like having the bill attached in QuickBooks for easy reference, but I don't like to rely on that for an audit trail. All right, so I'm going to hit save on this bill. Now, let's talk about what happens when we save a bill in QuickBooks Online. So let's save and close so we can get out of this screen. And I want to show you where you can see that bill now. Of course, several places. But first, I want to go to Reports, and I want to show you where you can see all of your bills, and that's going to be our accounts payable. So I'm going to choose the accounts payable aging summary, but you also have an aging detail as well. I'm going to choose summary. From our accounts payable aging summary, we can see the vendors that we owe money to, we can see how much we owe, and we can see how old those bills are. So if we have bills that are starting to age, for example, this PG&E bill, I'd probably look into why haven't we paid this bill yet? We don't like to have our bills be past due. So if I were to click on the number here, I'm going to be able to see the details of that bill that I just entered. And I can even click on this and go straight to the bill. So if there's any changes I need to make or anything I need to do to the bill, I can just go right back into it and make any edits that I want to make. All right, so the other ways that we can enter bills, of course, if we go to expenses, we can go to bills. And right here, you're going to have the option to, oh gosh, AI, here it comes. You're going to have the option to click Add Bill, and you can create a regular bill, a recurring bill, or this is fun, upload multiple bills. So if I click that, you can use AI, and again, grain of salt, this is new. It's not going to work perfectly, but you can select files to autofill from existing bills or invoices, or just drag and drop the images here. And it's going to help you create all of those bills, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie, I think that's pretty cool. So you'll notice that we are currently in a tab that says for review. And so these are bills that when you've imported using the new AI features, they're going to show here because you want to review them first. We definitely don't want to just assume that they entered them all correctly. If you want to see bills that you've already entered, you can go to this unpaid tab to see everything that's still open and needs to be paid. Or if you want to see bills that you've already paid, just click on the paid tab. We do have filters, of course, so if you want to see bills that you've paid to a certain vendor or within a certain time period, you can easily do that. Of course, we have our little arrows here so we can sort by vendor, bill date, due date, or bill amount. We have our action column here where we can show payments, view or edit the bill, or delete the bill. We have our gear icon so we can update these columns if we'd like to see how everything's been categorized or what class it's going to, whatever columns you need. All right, same thing in the unpaid column. I just want to point out you can do the same thing. You have the same filters. And we also have this batch create option. So again, when we click the checkbox, it highlighted all of the checkboxes below. And you can unclick any that you don't want to, and then we can click schedule payments. Now we're going to talk about bill payments in an upcoming video. But again, I want you to see all of this as many times as you possibly can in this training. So that way, by the time you're done, it all makes perfect sense. You've seen it so many times, you're thinking in click by click when you think about QuickBooks Online. So just to recap, to enter a bill, we can go New, under Vendors, click Bill. We can go Expenses and go to Bills and click Add Bill, create a bill. You also, in case you needed more ways to do this, can go to Vendors and then go directly to the vendor, and under New Transactions, you can enter a bill from there as well. And again, it's just giving you several different ways and several different places to do the same thing here in QuickBooks Online.